I'm Abe Peck, Editor-at-Large of Inside Unmanned Systems, here with David Oord, who's the Head of Policy for Wisk. So just give us a little background on Wisk.
So Wisk is a company who is manufacturing and going to be the future operator of an all-electric aircraft. It's called an electric vertical takeoff and land aircraft. Right. So I think of an aircraft that takes off and lands vertically like a helicopter, and then transitions to forward flight and flies like an airplane. The goal being connecting parts of a city, moving people about, from places to places. So getting people off the road, moving them in a safe, efficient, but also sustainable means, and ultimately save them time. So if they need to go from an outer part of a city in Houston, so like Sugar Land, to downtown, we can do it in a fraction of the time, 10 minutes, save them time, but also save them money. So we're looking, the motto of Wisk is to do for everyday flight for everyone. So we're looking to be a transportation option really for the masses.
Right, and it's a big yellow cab.
Yeah, that's right. So if you can afford an Uber, you'll be able to fly a Wisk aircraft.
Fantastic. And you've been making some headway with the FAA.
We have been. So Wisk has been around for about 14 years now. We started out as
an overnight success.
Yeah, right, an overnight success. We started out kind of small and quiet, and then we morphed into a company, a little bit more public. We were at that point called Kitty Hawk.
Right.
And then ultimately we became a joint venture with the Boeing company.
Right.
And then a few years ago, Boeing decided to fully acquire Wisk.
Right.
So we are a fully owned Boeing subsidiary, which is fantastic to have the resources, the expertise, the resources and people that have that Boeing encapsulates, and the know-how. Because you're going to be certificating the aircraft, but also we got to certificate the operations. So we're going to be the manufacturer, but also the airline. And so we're going to offer it as a service, so you could pull up your phone and say, hey, I want to go to the airport. You can fly on a Wisk and do that on a daily basis.
So when you talk about, we have to get into acronym land now.
Yes, we love acronyms.
When you talk about, urban air mobility, I'll spare people the acronyms, and but urban transport, what do you see as the path? I mean, it's been. There's been issues. People don't want, the superstitious people and getting clearance and this and that. What do you see as the issues associated with clearing the field, if you will?
Sure. So first we got to get the aircraft certificated, and we are going to certificate it at a very high level of safety. That's first and foremost. We're going to be flying friends, family in urban areas, so we have to have a commercial level of safety. Second, you got to certificate the operation. So we're going to be the operator under commercial services, what's called Part 135.
Right.
So that is a commercial air taxi. Then we're going to have sites to land at. So you're looking at creating vertiports around the areas of a city, getting the operational approvals to do that. And then at the last piece of the component is we got to connect all those spots. So looking at a defined operation that connects those. So we're going to have a defined route that connects each one of those sites in a very precise manner. That aircraft is not going to figure out where it wants to go fly. It's going to fly at a very deterministic, very defined site. So think of like a gondola or an or the tram that you take at an airport that connects the terminal to your gate. Same concept. So rather than take that tram, you're getting on a Wisk and it's connecting you to the downtown location.
Right. And manned, unmanned, both option?
So Wisk is going straight to autonomy.
Oh, really?
Now, by autonomy, though, we will have a person on the ground.
Right.
So think of him or her as a remote pilot. They are there to supervise the operation, ensure its safety. They can intervene if they need to, but they don't have a stick and rudder. The aircraft, because it's so deterministic, it'll do everything it needs to do. That person will be the pilot in charge, and then they will have the ultimate authority to say, okay, now you can commence that operation.
So in some ways it's similar to a Waymo, although Waymo has varied routes.
Yeah, a little bit, really bit. But
there's also an operator sitting somewhere,
100%, but they will be able to communicate with air traffic control, which is essential. So they'll be able to communicate, they'll be able to divert if they need to for traffic or whatever purposes. So the operation is going to have multiple layers of safety already baked into it.
And what's your hopeful timeline?
So we're working hard to get through those processes that I talked about. Ultimately, because we've announced Houston as our launch city, we are looking forward to operating it here in this city by the end of the decade.
Fantastic. Okay, and that particular vehicle is how many seats in that one?
So that's got 4 seats, and so you can bring 3 of your friends, and also your bags. It has a front trunk or a frunk, so you can put your rollerboard after you get off the United Airlines flight, put it in the front. and then go on your merry way.
So instead of Grand Funk Railroad, you're Grand Funk eVTOL.
That's right.
And what else should we know about this vehicle?
So I think you should know that it's sooner than you would think. I mean, a lot of people think of something that's really out in the future. They think of autonomy as something scary. The technology's there. We can go and do this today. We just need the regulations and the airspace solution to be in place for us to get to the market.
And what does Part 108 play a role in this, or
BB-LOS?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No, we are going to be integrating into the traditional air traffic services.
Okay.
So because we're not going to be we're going to be above 400 feet.
Oh, okay. And thanks for clarifying that. And I guess my final question is, what would you like the show to be for you? What do you hope to accomplish here?
So I'm obviously making connections,
right.
which is awesome.
Right.
But people see the airplane, people sit in the aircraft, and recognize that, hey, this is something that is going to be available sooner than you'd actually imagine. And it's here, and we're looking forward to collaborate with not only our federal partners like the FAA, but communities around the greater Houston area to make sure that this is a viable option for them and serve this community here very soon.
Great. Well, we've covered you in the past, and we'll stay on it.
I look forward to it.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Okay.